Hey, everybody. Ann Ford here. I thought it would be fun to have a chat. We're actually recording this on Zoom with the new director in our team, Silvia Koehler. She's calling in from her home in Switzerland.
Hi.
And there she is. I just really wanted to ask Sylvia a few questions about her what I would call a meteoric rise to the rank of director, because it isn't every day that someone signs up six people, six brand partners in their first 30 days. And really, I have to say that pretty much every day since she signed up, we've been on Zoom together doing a lot of three-way calls on Zoom. I think Sylvia might be the champion for putting people on a three-way call with her upline support team on a daily basis. So I just gave you one of her tips right there, but I wanted you to hear from her how she's been having such great success. And so, Sylvia, why don't you start by telling everyone a little bit about yourself and what attracted you to Nerium in the first place? You know, what was the situation where you first heard about it? What piqued your interest, and what made you decide to jump in as a brand partner?
Right. Well, I met you, Anne, in Cancun during a Dr. Joe Dispenza seminar. And we had lunch together, and we got to know each other or introduced ourselves to each other. And you asked me where I was from, and I told you I was from Switzerland. But back then, I was officially still living in Australia, but thinking of moving back to Switzerland. And you said, "Oh my God, we just opened a new market yesterday in Switzerland." And so I got interested what kind of business you were in. And so you told me that you were in the anti-aging industry, and you showed me these amazing before and after pictures. And I thought, well, if only half of this is true, this would be something that you can sell so easily, because honestly, I don't know any single person that wouldn't want to look younger and better. I just, neither men nor women. And as a matter of fact, I am in, or I was, or I am in a situation that I really have to reinvent myself and to build a new existence, because in the 5 years that I lived in Australia, I basically lost everything that I earned in the 30 previous years. So when I met you, or before I met you, I was just coming out of this meditation with Dr. Joe, and I just felt this abundance and in my future coming to me. And so I thought, oh my God, this is a sign from heaven. and I got really, really interested. And so you said, well, let's take how did you say?
Before and after picture for did we try the eye serum
Yeah.
right at the beginning?
Yeah, right. That's what
Yeah.
you did. You said, let's take an experiment. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So you put the eye serum just beneath one eye and not under the other. And then we waited for like 5 minutes, and the people at the table, they stared at me. They just couldn't believe what they saw, because apparently one eye looked just so much fresher and better and less wrinkles than the other one.
Yeah.
And so I got really, really interested. And then back home in Switzerland, I think we very soon started talking to each other, and and eventually I signed up.
Yeah, it really wasn't that much time
No.
between when you got home and when you signed up. I do believe I gave you a Success from Home magazine
Yes,
to
you did.
look at on the plane on the way home. Did you read it while you were traveling?
It was a night flight, and I was really, really tired.
Mhm.
So I think I just kind of looked through it. I didn't really read the articles, but I got really interested. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So what made you decide to jump in, and were you nervous at the beginning? Uh, Tell us a little bit about that,
Yeah.
your discomfort out of your comfort zone. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what really made me jump in is the fact that you are a real person. I met you, and I trusted you, what you told me about Nerium. And I could feel your excitement after 6.5 years, which is not normal that someone who has been in a business for 6.5 years is still transmitting so much excitement about the products, about the business, about the people in the business. And I mean, you look so fabulous. And I mean, really, you look now 10 years younger than you looked on that picture you took 6.5 years ago. So I mean, that was a big point of um,
Confidence.
convincing me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing also, your story, because you were in a similar situation as I am now. You wanted to find a new stream of income. You were kind of reinventing yourself at that point in time when you got to know Nerium. And what you told me was that within, I think, 8 months, you started to earn a six-figure income. And that, I thought, oh my God, I mean, that really, I thought, oh, that is sent from heaven.
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Um, were
and
you
yes,
nervous at the beginning? Tell us how, if you were, how you overcame and started to work so confidently.
yes. So when I signed up, I I realized that I was nervous, but I kind of fell in a hole after I had signed up,
Mm,
because all the things that you hear about network marketing, and you read, and people tell you. So that crossed my mind, obviously, and I thought, oh my God, what have I done? Because I signed up with the premium starter kit. And I thought, oh my God, maybe this is way too much. This is, at this point in time, I cannot even afford that, really. And then you told me that if I have a lot of product, I can share those products. I can lend the night creams to other people, and they can use it for 5 to 7 days, and so they can get convinced, rather than by just telling them and looking them at the pictures. So that convinced me. But still, when I had signed up, I kind of fell in a hole and
mm,
thought, oh my God, what have I done? It really felt like jumping down from a diving tower,
mm,
not knowing how to swim. This is how
mm,
it felt.
mm,
And then I just tried to move, and somehow I started to learn to swim. And thanks to you, Anne, because you really accompanied this process. You were constantly at my side. I could call you every day, and you really gave me the confidence that I did the right thing. And then with the first successes, I had no doubt whatsoever.
mm. Yeah, I mean, you really shot out of the gate. I don't even remember you being unconfident, even though you say that you were. I believe you, but now I just look at how coachable you are, how willing you are to get out of your comfort zone. Uh, and I can't help but think that some of that willingness to do something new. And if you're going to make a mistake, make a big mistake because you learned from it. I can't help but think that mindset was cultivated, at least in part, by the meditation that you do, by working with high-level teacher like Dr. Joe Dispenza, having that mindset of being willing to go into unknown territory.
Yes.
To have something that you've never had, you have to do something that you've never done. What part do you think that type of work, the personal development, has played for your Nerium journey so far? Can you say a little bit about that?
Absolutely, I love to. For me, I think that is very important.
Mm-hmm.
It's you in his workshops and with his work, you really learn to jump into the unknown, to do unusual things that you have never done before, and to get out of your comfort zone, to leave your past behind, and really confidently step into your future. And this is very helpful. But then another thing, I got to know Dr. Joe's work, his books and his CDs about a year ago, because I got across his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And this is exactly what I wanted to do back then. Mm-hmm. And this has been a very helpful journey for me, because I really could overcome a lot of my limitations, which I think for this work with Nerium is absolutely essential. Mm-hmm. And when I think of what they told us also at the convention, that you should try to become your best version, and I think this is exactly what the work with Dr. Joe does. You really become the best version of yourself eventually, if you stay with this work.
That's true. And it's very astute that you would pick up on that so quickly. I've always said that personal development is absolutely key in this business. So I even said, this is a personal development journey. It's a master class in personal development that we get paid to take. They're going to pay us to develop ourselves. I'm actually pretty good with that. I'm sure you are too. Well, speaking of the conference, how did you like being at the conference? I know you decided to go at the last minute. You hopped on a plane from Switzerland, very long flight. Everything was a bit of a whirlwind, and you hadn't even been in for, you were in for like a week or something like that, and you were all of a sudden in Las Vegas, surrounded in this, plopped into this brand new situation. It was quite a leap of faith. So tell me, was it worth the effort to be there?
Absolutely.
What were your impressions of the conference? Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, it was absolutely worth to go. And again, yes, I hesitated because I was invited to the conference because apparently I did so well in the beginning. So I was invited.
Oh, you got the free ticket.
Yes, yes, you told me that. Mm-hmm. But I hesitated to go because, again, I thought, oh my God, this is not the point in time that I can spend the money on a plane ticket and on a hotel in Las Vegas. But then I felt it was the right thing to do, and I overcame that fear. And I stepped into the unknown again, and I'm very, very glad I did, because it was from the very first moment, it was such an amazing experience. I remember going that first morning to the breakfast for the new international brand partners, and I was welcomed so heartily and warmly by everyone I met. And that continued through the whole convention. And I have never seen that anywhere, neither in a corporation or in a sports club or whatever kind of association you would come in as a baby.
Yeah.
And they just made me feel extremely welcome and comfortable, and there was a lot of support, and I have never experienced anything like that, and people were all in such a good mood, so happy and looking bright and radiant, and I've just never seen anything like that. And then, of course, the quality of all the speakers was amazing. I mean, the quality of the whole convention was absolutely amazing. And then after the convention in the evening, we had a lot of fun. In the morning with the millionaire breakfast, we had a lot of fun. And it was just an amazing time. And I got to know a lot of wonderful people. And what also was very comforting for me is the fact that even those who had signed up maybe 2 months ago or a year ago, they all confirmed, every single person I talked to was extremely raving about the company, about Nerium. They all really convinced me that it had been the right choice to join Nerium, that this is really a company that has a very rare company culture and philosophy that is really for the partners and not just for the top 1% of the company, and that it's really possible to grow and to earn a lot of money with Nerium, not only for, yes, as I said, the top 1%, which is, I think, quite unusual. And this is actually the first thing that I learned at this international brand partner breakfast. There was the president, Bo Short, and he said he has been in this business for 30 years, so he has a lot of experience, and he said he has never come across a corporate culture as with Nerium. And as a matter of fact, when he sits together with founder and CEO Jeff Olson, they never talk about profits and growth. They always talk, what can we do to make it easier for our brand partners that they can grow? What tools can we give them that makes their life easier, and that it's easier for them to work and comfortably and to have success, which I thought was amazing.
Yeah, that's definitely something that separates us from most, if not all, of the companies that are out there. Did you have a favorite part of the conference, a favorite section or segment, or a favorite speaker, something that really stood out for you?
I mean, one thing was extremely funny when that lawyer was coming out to talk about policies and procedures, and I think everybody was kind of starting to yawn and thinking, oh my God. And he said, well, don't just leave now, just wait a minute. And then he made this funny kind of show, like quiz or something, which apparently is something that you have on American TV.
Oh yeah, it's Jeopardy. They did a Jeopardy game with the policies and procedures, which was so clever, because it was like everyone's favorite part of the conference was 3 national marketing directors played the contestants, and and they had to hit the buzzer to answer the question, and it was all about these rules and regulations, the policies and procedures. Yeah. It was great.
I think that was extremely funny. And for me as a greenhorn, a very important part to know. I mean, I got most of the questions right, but some of them I would have given the wrong answer. So, and that actually really remains. That's a way to transmit legal stuff in a very funny way. And then it really remains. And so that's maybe for the funny part. And what I really loved were the personal stories that especially, you know, some of the international partners or also others shared that they had a similar background, that they were very successful maybe in another career, or they had their own companies and they sold their own company to do this and are now very successful. So that was very, very interesting for me. And my favorite speaker, I guess, was probably the President Bo Short. With I thought his speeches were extremely profound, and I think I wrote every single word he said. I wrote down. And I loved, obviously, the part at the end when he said, "You are a lion. You're not a sheep. You're a lion." And this is what I tell myself every day. And as a matter of fact, I did come across a lot of lions after the convention. It started with me buying one of those baseball hats with a lion on it. And then all of a sudden, wherever I went to, I saw pictures of lions and I took photos of them. And I think I have to make some kind of board with lions.
I think you do. You have to put some lions on your dream board. That's awesome. Speaking of dream boards, do you have a vision statement? Have you written your 5-year vision statement of the picture of your life if time and money was no object?
I must admit, I've been very naughty with this one. It's in my head and it's in my mind movie.
Well, talk about the mind movie then, because that's a different version of a vision statement. If you don't know what a mind movie is, if you're watching this video, it's actually at mindmovies.com. It's a tool that Dr. Joe Dispenza gives to his students, and you actually make a little movie with your pictures or with stock pictures and with captions like affirmations, and you can put a soundtrack, and it's an easy way for your subconscious mind to, because it's so visual, get the impressions of the picture of your life that you're going toward, that you're moving into. So that's a mind movie. In my opinion, that's interchangeable with a written vision statement, if not more powerful than a written vision statement. So how does your mind movie play into your Nerium business? How does it empower you? Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. Well, as I said before, I met
the recording, the connection stuck there, Silvia, for a second. Darn it.
That's weird.
Oh, you're back. Okay.
Yeah,
Can you say that again?
Okay. As I said before, I met Yuan. I was actually in this mind movie meditation during the Dr. Joe workshop. And in my mind movie, I had this abundance. I mean, my life was full of abundance. I was traveling the world. I lead this extremely happy life. I don't think about, if I like to go to Dr. Joe workshop in the United States or in Mexico or wherever he gives the workshop in the world, I don't have to think about it twice if I go or don't go. And I live in a beautiful house. I have all the means, to lead a happy life, and so that's where Nerium comes in to eventually have that abundance in my life, and it's very important to feel it. So not only to visualize it, but to really feel it, to embody it.
Yeah, good point. As Dr. Joe says, thought sends the signal out, and then emotion draws the event back to you. So you have to make it so juicy and compelling that you get excited watching it, even if you're watching it over and over.
Yes.
And that spaced repetition is really impressing that picture into
Yes.
your subconscious mind. So it's a fabulous tool. And you were watching your abundance mind movie, and then we had the conversation at lunch, and I think that was not exactly a coincidence. It was like you manifested the tracks that you could run on to
Yeah.
get to that
Yeah.
life. It showed up right there.
Yeah. It was serendipity.
It's amazing. Totally amazing. Um, Pretty cool. I love that story. So tell us any tips that you might have for someone who's on the same journey and maybe starting out as you are, a brand new brand partner, because you've had so much success right out of the gate. What is your secret? What are you doing that's working for you?
Yeah. I think one of the most important things to tell new brand partners is don't let yourself be put off by no's.
Mm-hmm.
And as a matter of fact, we heard from the most successful people in the company that they probably had more no's than anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is a very important thing that because the no's, they are inevitable. And again, this is where this work with Dr. Joe really helped me, because I think a year ago I couldn't have done that, because the no's would have put me down so much that it would have taken me days to get out of it. And now I don't give them any energy. I don't put my focus on the no's. I put my focus on the yeses. I celebrate my yeses, and I just let the no's where they are. And sometimes you actually can turn a no into a yes. If you don't give the no energy, sometimes it is possible to turn the no in a yes. And as a matter of fact, there again, Bo Short said, sometimes it takes 3 days, sometimes 3 weeks, sometimes 3 months, sometimes 3 years. But eventually, if you just don't focus on the no, but just keep posting them or sending them birthday cards or Christmas cards, whatever, just keep in contact with them. Don't tell them about Nerium. Just keep in contact. Be joyful and nice, and then they think, what's going on with this person? Maybe she has a secret, something that I would like to know what it is. And so it attracts people. And as Dr. Joe says, you become a vortex, and you don't have to go out there and make it hard on you,
Right.
but your being becomes a vortex, and people are attracted to you because they think, she must do something right.
Yeah, that's very high level training, what you just offered right there. I think that's the keys to the kingdom right there. And that's why we have the Live Happy sister company, our relationship with the Live Happy movement, the Live Happy magazine. And that is such a integral part of our company's culture, because as Jeff has said probably a million times, when you're happy, you're attracting good things to you. It's that attitude of gratitude is powerful, and you're going to attract happy people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's who I want to work with.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Let me ask you one more question. I think we're getting to the end of the questions. Is you've been really super coachable. I've got to give you your props for that. You've really been a great, great student, very, very hungry to learn. And I tell Silvia to do something. I suggest it, I should say, and she does it. I mean, she doesn't say, no, I have a better idea, or she listens like a sponge, and then she goes and applies herself to it wholeheartedly. It's really a wonderful thing. What is your favorite third-party tool you've used, as far as I know, you've used all of them. What's your favorite tool, or what's your favorite tools, and why? What's working for you the best?
Well, I mean, first of all, and you are the most wonderful coach that anyone could imagine. And I'm very grateful to have you as my coach. And I think that is the number one thing. Without you at my side coaching me, I don't think I would have done any of this. And I mean, you encouraged me from the first moment while I was still waiting for my starter kit, which took a while because Switzerland is such a brand new country. So it took, I think, almost 2 weeks to get it. And you encouraged me to already start, which I would never have done. And then I think, you know, the energy of the beginning and the excitement of the beginning would have slowed down. But you encouraged me again to step out of my comfort zone and to start working on it, although I didn't have any products to show, to lend to people. And that was challenging for me, but you were right at my side, and just the right amount of pushing and comforting me. So that was brilliant, really, and I cannot be grateful enough for that.
No, thank you.
But then also, I think the company supplies you with an enormous amount of great tools, which unfortunately, again, in Europe, we don't have all of that. And that's another thing why I'm so grateful I did come to Las Vegas, because I flew back with a whole bunch of magazines and samples. And the samples are just, I love them. I love them. It's really, as Bo Short said, it's the most elegant way to introduce Nerium.
Absolutely.
You just hand them out the magazine and a sample, and they are just blown away. And because I noticed one thing when I flew back from Vegas, that there are a lot of anti-aging products in the brochures of the online, the onboard shopping magazine, and they all cost a fortune. I mean, the most expensive one costs $1,000, and you cannot, you don't get to try that.
Yeah.
So you spend $1,000 on something you don't even know if it works.
Yeah, and if it doesn't work, you can't send it back, probably.
If you hand out those days, people applied the samples, they see a huge difference already. Even men, they say after one night, they say, I look differently, which is amazing.
It is amazing. Yeah. So you sample out the night cream and the eye serum pretty regularly. I remember you saying that you got the premier kit, the biggest kit, and yet all of your samples were out within just a matter of days. You wish that you had had more.
Yeah.
Because you were lending products right and left. Yeah.
So, and now I have these, these samples, with all the 5 products in it, which is great.
The product brochure with the 5 products in it.
Yeah. Right. For about 2 days or whatever it is. And that is great. That is great, because it really accelerates, because they don't wait 5 to 7 days. They use it 2 nights or 2 days, and they want to join.
Do you set a follow-up with someone if they're giving them that, so that you can be there when they're finished with the 2 days? Do you set the follow-up when you're right there with them? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. That's very important. The follow-up is extremely important. Yes.
Yeah, you seem to be already a master at the follow-up, because like I said, you're putting a lot of people on three-way calls, and they seem very excited to be there too. So, P.S. You guys, excitement is contagious. And as you noticed in Sylvia's story, she said, I was excited even though I've been in for 6.5 years. And you can see from how Silvia talks about the company that she's super excited, and people can feel that energy. You can't fake excitement. They are going to feel your excitement and your energy, and pick up on it and be curious about what's making you so excited.
Well, maybe one more thing that I would like to share. Which I also got to know at the Vegas convention, is the fact that you have to work in a team in order to grow. For your own success, you have to have a strong team. So you have to support your downline. And so you could say, okay, that's normal. But what's not normal is that you can work across teams. I have never seen that anywhere in any corporation or anywhere in sports, or I've never seen that anywhere that you work across teams. And I think that is the new spirit. That is where we have to go to. And again, this comes together so elegantly with Dr. Joe, because I think this is where Darwin was misinterpreted, because any organism in nature that works on competition doesn't survive. Mm-hmm. So only if you work together, any organism, only if things work, cells or whatever work together, they survive. And this is something that I really love about this company, that you can send someone from another country to a real result party from another team, but you can sign that person up.
Yeah.
And the same thing vice versa. And I realized when I was talking to European brand partners that is a very new concept to them, and they really had to swallow that and think about it and say, oh, well, yes. But I think this is absolutely amazing. And that is another thing that was so convincing.
Yeah. That's beautiful, because I've heard Jeff Olson say, we don't compete with each other, we complete each other.
Yes.
And this is important to him. And especially for me at the conference, it felt like such a unity for the leadership in the NMD summit, that people were really reaching out to each other in a way that I hadn't seen that level of willingness to cooperate and help each other. And I felt such love and support from everyone who was there.
Absolutely.
It really does feel like a family. And I'm very, very grateful to be on this journey with you. I am so excited to see what happens next. Your next step is going to earn you a car. Your next rank advancement is the car. So it's an exciting time for you, and I'm just really grateful that you took the time to share some of your insights and your tips with the team. And you have any last parting words to say to everybody? Come to Switzerland and visit Silvia.
Well, yes, I think the main thing really is be coachable. Trust your upline, especially if you have a coach like Anne. I cannot be grateful enough, really, to have you at my side, because there is really no point. This industry has been around for 100 years, and the top people, the top earners, they know all the secrets, and they still grow and they still learn. And so there is absolutely no point in trying to invent something new from scratch if you have everything at your hand. Mm-hmm. So that exactly. I think that is my last advice.
Really, really good. Good stuff, Silvia. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you.
Totally love you. Adore you. And I'm sure I'll be talking to you probably later today.
Yeah, right.
Much love, darling. Thank you.
Thank you.